חזק וברוך. ל"ג בעומר שמח, ערב Shabbat Shalom. So most people on Shabbat are using hot plate, and they put hot food on Shabbat. Before Shabbat is not a problem, but they take out on Shabbat morning. Our wives take out food from the fridge and they put it directly on the hot plate. And Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says that that could be a problem because today many people are using a hot plate for events, so it becomes kind of derech bishul, the way of cooking. That's why he says you should take a plate, put it on the hot plate. On top of that, you should put the food. However, Rabbi says that the whole idea of a hot plate is lo derech bishul, that people don't cook with the hot plate. Therefore, he says that katchila, if a person has a dry food and he wants to put it on the hot plate on Shabbat, he's allowed to do it based on what the Shulchan Aruch says, Siman Rishon Gimel, CFA. But what happens if a person has a liquid? We know that liquid is a problem to put it on the hot plate because you're cooking, and all this applies with dry food, but not liquid. So Rabbi has a solution for that situation. He says to have a timer on Shabbat, and before the timer turns on, put the food with the liquid on the hot plate, and then after 10 minutes, the timer will turn on. That's called grama. You're causing it to happen. You're not directly heating up the food, and that's an easy solution. Not many agree with that, but we can use this leniency of Rabbadia in a case where the majority of the food is solid, and the minority is liquid. Many hold that it's still a problem. However, says it's not a problem. But if you have those two things combined, in other words, if you have some 40% liquid, let's say, and you're putting it before the timer turns on, that all agree that will be okay. Again, if a person wants to use this technique of Arabadia, putting the liquid food before the timer turns on, of course, Arabadia here says mutar, and he has a base to rely on.